But without further ado,
yes,
let's say hi to Paul R. Nelson.
Hey, good morning. Thanks for having me on your show, gentlemen.
Mr. Nelson, it's an honor to speak to you. We've been keeping track of your campaign over the course of the past few weeks. And, yeah, it's an honor to talk to you. You've been a lot of controversy. I've seen you on TV a lot about your ads against Wrong Kind.
That's correct, and some of that credit has to go to your show. When you guys picked up our ads and crashed our website, our phone started to ring off the hook. I know for a fact that reporters working for the Washington Post and Tucker Carlson and others at MSNBC listen to the Opie and Anthony show.
Yeah, absolutely. And now, what do you do for a living? You're a real estate agent?
I'm a real estate agent and a hockey dad.
A hockey dad. Now, that's something we're a little confused about. We know what soccer moms are, but what's a hockey dad?
Hockey dad.
He likes to knock his kid's teeth out.
Follows his kid to hockey every night.
Oh, you take your kid to hockey. That's nice. And you come off like a very wholesome guy, very American, kind of American dream family.
You know what that is.
What is that?
You know what an American dream is to a Negro. You know how we...
Well, Patrice O'Neill is here. He's
that's white people's words for, the R word with two quotes.
Sometimes Patrice gets a little out of hand, Mr. Nelson.
Sorry.
I don't... just don't pay any attention.
I just want to know, how do you feel about 300-pound Negroes sleeping with small white women?
He doesn't... You know something?
He's laughing. He's laughing.
Could we maybe get a few minutes of a Paul R. Nelson interview?
Well, you don't think that's a valid question? What if I wanted to vote for Paul R. Nelson? I'm a big black man. I want to know if he minds if I come to Wisconsin and deflower a couple of delicious blue-eyed devils.
Let's keep it simple. Paul R. Nelson, are you a fan of the Negro?
I'm a fan of all people.
All people. That's what Paul's been about.
How about those Mexicans that are sleeping and peeing in the spinach?
Oh, okay, Paul. What about immigration? What's your stand on immigration and the situation we have with a lot of illegal aliens coming over the border?
Sure. Hey, we've been very clear on our positions in our ads that we're not a very nuanced campaign. We try not to leave a lot of room for ambiguity. I would be against illegal immigration. Of course, Wrong Kind would be one that would want to sponsor amnesty for illegal immigrants. So that's all we're pointing out. And people keep talking about our attack ads. You will note in our ads that we do not go after Mr. Kind for personal financial malfeasance or marital infidelity. We are simply pointing out his voting record. These really are not attack ads. They're really what the campaign is supposed to be about.
No,
telling the voters the difference between what the two candidates would vote.
I understand that, Mr. Nelson, and believe me, I am a fan. But let me play the devil's advocate here. Do you think that your ads kind of leave it a little vague as to where that money was going, really? It kind of comes off like a Wrong Kind is taking the taxpayers' dollars and going to Vietnam and paying for hookers. It sounds a little worse than it really is, because I think in actuality it was a bill based on a sex study all wrapped up into one. And it kind of sounds like these are separate incidents in your ads.
Right, and but the language in this ad, and that's why we put the NIH grant numbers, the To Me amendment number. I mean, we live in the information age. People can go to our website at paularnelson.com, and they can look this stuff up. This is part of the congressional record. The words that we used in the sex studies ad are part of the congressional record. It's actually really, really accurate, and I would certainly challenge it.
So you think Ron Kind is obsessed with the masturbation habits of old men?
No, I don't think he's obsessed, but I do think that he knew what he was voting for when he voted to fund that study.
Yeah.
Paul, you mind if I ask you a quick question?
Patrice O'Neill.
Patrice O'Neill here. Black man. Two man to man. You don't think, just man to man, you don't think that hooking up electrodes to a woman's vagina and making her watch porno and see how she reacts to it is a little bit sexy, just as a man? I know you're running for Congress, but just as a dude chilling out with a beer, you don't find that to be hot?
the point that we're making, whether or not we think that may be an interesting study.
Yeah.
That someone took the time to take an electrode.
All right, be careful, Patrice, because they're dumping out.
To take an electrode. Did they dump out on me already?
Possibly. I just want to help you out. We're teenage girls, porn, and something attached.
And electrodes.
And electrodes. Let's just keep it at that. Everyone can figure it out.
Somebody took the time to do that as a study.
Yeah.
That doesn't get us just a little bit of a whew. Like you didn't have to wipe your brow a little bit. A little sweat didn't drip down your face. Just a little.
It's
all right, listen, Opie and Anthony, I wanted to issue a public challenge on your radio show to have Mr. Wrong Kind actually come out from underneath his desk where he's curled up in the fetal position, sucking his thumb and asking for his sippy cup of milk and a blanket. I want him to come out from underneath the desk, and I want him to come on the Opie and Anthony show Monday morning, the day before the election.
Right.
And let's have the pests call in, and we'll have a debate on air.
God, he knows
would
about
that
the
be
pest and
great?
everything.
Wouldn't that be great? Why won't he face you?
Wrong Kind is scared to death of the things that we've been running, the ads that we've been running in this campaign, because as I mentioned, we have been running ads that accurately depict his votes. And Mr. Kind, his values and his waste of taxpayer dollars are well outside of the realm of the voters here in Washington.
Speaking of which, we got the brand new ad. I don't know how we got it. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. The Bruce and Bubba ad.
I love the Bruce and Bubba ad.
Well, we happen to think it's a moment of brilliance. You know, we have a lot of young people in this country that don't pay attention to politics because they think it's boring. And we put some things together that we think have made budgetary issues a little bit interesting. And now we put an ad together that we believe will make the gay marriage issue a little bit interesting to young people. And I don't think that young people understand how much power they can have in an election. Your listeners, they want to go on our website at paularnelson.com, make a small contribution to our campaign. We are beating the political life out of Wrong Kind with these ads exposing the way he votes.
So you're not a fan of the fruits?
I'm not a fan of what?
You know, fruity people.
Look, they can do anything that they want. We're not putting any restrictions on people, but you can't tear down our institutions. And the institution of marriage has served mankind pretty well since, as we point out.
I think straight couples have already destroyed that institution. I mean, let's be honest.
That's a fair point, right?
I mean, what is it? What's the stat up to? Like 60 to 70% of all marriages fail?
That's a fair point, man.
I mean, we've already destroyed it, so.
All right, Opie, you man-loving. Just take.
That was a fair.
You listen to Paul R. Nelson's ad, and you tell me if that sounds.
I say let them suffer
like
us, right, guys?
You sound like you tell me if that sounds like something you want this country running around with men walking around, men holding hands and being married. That's not me, Mr. Nelson.
They only want to get married for insurance reasons.
With your platform.
They would stay doing because men don't want to get married, but they just do it because they can get insurance.
Are you for anything like that, like some kind of legal, not a marriage, but some kind of joint partnership between gay gentlemen or women that they can then get benefits and health care together?
Well, listen, fellas, anyone can go to an attorney. You can own property together. You can put together joint agreements where you can visit each other in the hospital. Certainly, people can live however they choose to live in
a legal contract,
legal agreement.
Right?
That's fine, some kind of contract, but
not in the eyes of God.
Well, however, the legal definition of marriage has been a sacred contract between a man and a woman. I just think it would be very destructive to our society to go ahead and do that. And we can look to Western Europe, to Norway and Sweden and the Netherlands, places where they've done this, and it has certainly been destructive.
Paul, what if they're two really hot lesbians, though? You know, not the butchy kind, you know, but like lipstick lesbians.
Not the ones that are shown on the news when they get married. Jesus.
He's laughing.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, isn't that
Paul, come on.
I love Paul R. Nelson.
Isn't that more for us? Isn't that more?
Paul, you got to lean a little bit for us. I mean, all right, man on man. All right, let's be honest. We all understand that. But lipstick lesbians, where's your stance on that and them getting married?
We speak gay marriage. We're gender neutral.
He's pretty straightforward with
What's
that
your
one.
stance on lesbians and electrodes?
Well, he's already stated.
How about Vietnamese lesbians with electrodes? With old men watching.
That's something wrong kind wants money going.
That's wrong
going
kind.
to wrong kind. Did you guys just sit in that room when you figured out that you could put a couple of letters at the beginning and end of his name and make it wrong? Did you guys just go, "Oh my God, this is great"?
And as we were sitting at the table discussing this, we realized we had destroyed the man's political future right there and then because.
How do the polls look, Paul?
Not looking good for Paul.
Yeah, we haven't taken a poll at this point.
He doesn't want to know.
No, why? What's
Paul? You gotta be honest here. You know it's going to be really, really tough to win this election, right?
No question. Every incumbency is extremely strong.
Yeah,
that's why incumbents, challengers have to come out and they have to make very articulate points, and they have to tell the electorate why it is that you should fire the incumbent. And I think we've been doing a fairly good job of pointing out some of those reasons.
Hey, Paul, I think I could help you out.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got pics. I got some pictures you might want to see.
What, you got wrong kind there?
I might have some pictures.
What do you got? Don't believe him.
Look how excited. You can tell how excited Paul R. Nelson is.
I call him wrong P.
Wrong.
He's wrong Opie.
What about abortion, sir? Where are we at?
Hey, come on. You guys have listened to the commercial. I'm a pro-life candidate.
Yep.
4 children, 1 on the way. So I'm a big supporter of children.
Yeah, he's you're pretty much right down the line, Republican, conservative.
That's probably a fair statement.
Yeah, fair statement.
How about taking it out from time to time there, Paul? You like Sean Kemp.
Paul, I gotta be honest. I once held hands with a man at a Mets game.
Yeah, I have too. My dad.
Aw, that's sweet.
What?
His dad.
What about him?
He held hands with him.
Oh no, this was just another man.
Who?
That I wasn't related to.
This is something I've never heard of, Paul.
Oh no,
I could see it now. The Paul R. Nelson and Anthony show. I don't want any part of this.
Wait.
Opie holding hands with them.
I told the story on the air. Where are you at with me, Opie, holding another man's hand that I wasn't related to at a Mets game?
Opie, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with you doing anything you want with another man, short of getting married, Opie.
There you go.
It was our own Danny, and I didn't know. I thought I was holding my girlfriend's hand, and they did the old switcheroo, and I walked out of Shea Stadium holding another man's hand. It's a true story.
Paul, just to get to know a little bit more about you aside from politics, what are the things you find funny? Like, where does your sense of humor lie?
I sell real estate, so I work with people. I enjoy laughing. I try and laugh at work. I find everyday life things humorous. I enjoy Bill Cosby's humor. I enjoy Jeff Foxworthy. You might be a redneck.
Oh,
well, it's it's the Midwest.
You're losing us, Paul. You're losing us.
He's a Midwest guy. Midwest guy.
You might be a politician, F.
Can I buy a house in Wisconsin?
Yeah, what's the real estate market looking like in Wisconsin?
Real estate market in Wisconsin's a little slow right now.
Yeah, everything, right?
It is.
That damn bubble burst right after I
bought. It ain't slow for you, Anthony.
Yeah.
So when you lose the election, you're going back to real estate, or?
When I lose the election, I'm not planning to lose the election.
He's not planning on losing it. and I want to know, I am throwing my hat in the Paul R. Nelson ring, and I want everybody else that's listening right now in Wisconsin to vote for Paul R. Nelson.
Whoa. Why?
Because I like this guy.
That's it? That's all it takes?
I like his gusto. He's got gusto. We might not agree, Paul, on all of the issues, because it's very hard for everybody to agree on every issue that a politician has. But I kind of like this guy. He's got spunk.
The fact that he doesn't like Italians doesn't mean anything to you.
I don't know about Italian. We don't discuss things like that. And I don't think Paul R. Nelson has.
He doesn't.
He judges people as people, not as colors or
immigrants.
You got. Excuse me?
Italians are illegal immigrants.
My family came here so long ago.
You snuck here, and you probably named after a town where your great-great-grandfather grew up, Cumiaville, and you came here and you destroyed our lives with your mobsters and your spaghetti sauce. I want you out.
I want to know how you'd live in buildings with bricks stacked up with no cement holding them together, my friend, if it wasn't for my relatives. So you quiet down, Patrice.
Paul, I'm still on the fence. I'm not sure if I want to vote for you.
I don't know.
I got another. I'm being honest. I got another scenario for you.
All right, let me tip you over here.
All right.
Here's what the main qualification of a candidate should be to the American people.
All right.
That is that the American people know unequivocally where the candidates stand on the issues. You may not agree with Paul R. Nelson, but you will always know where Paul R. Nelson stands on the issues. That should be the primary qualification for any candidate running for public office. And I submit to you that most candidates do their hardest job of trying to obfuscate the issues and confuse the American people as to where they stand.
All right, I got one more scenario, and how you answer this question will decide if I vote for you, okay?
Oh, boy.
Let's just say there's a guy from Long Island who went to college in Geneseo at a state school, and he was very lonely. He was 400 miles away from home, and he wanted to join a fraternity to get some friends and a social life. Mm-hmm. And let's just say this fraternity made him drop his drawers and pick up marshmallows. And then maybe waddle across the floor and drop the marshmallows on something that represented maybe another fraternity that they hated.
And he wasn't using his hands at the time.
And he wasn't using his hands.
Right. Well,
where do you stand on that?
As long as he's not marrying the marshmallows, I'm okay with that.
Okay, see?
I vote for Paul R. Nelson.
Paul R. Nelson. And, Paul, if we may, this is a very good question that Patrice brought up. What does the R stand for?
Raymond.
Paul Raymond Nelson.
Hey, Paul, did you hear our mega mix yet?
I have not. Oh, you know what? We have heard your mega mix. And, I wanted to thank you guys for that. We noticed in our campaign office, by the way, we've listened to almost every show where you've been talking about us, and my campaign staff laughs until they cry.
Oh, good.
Yeah, we're really funny.
They are. become big fans. But I've noticed
yes.
over the days that you have become more of a fan as you've explored our issues.
Actually, we started by hating you because of the negative ads, but then we're like, man, there's a sense of humor in these ads, and then you completely turn us around, and and I don't even know if we agree on anything.
Not there, like I said, there are a few issues I agree with, a few I don't agree with, but you do, like he said, you do know what he stands for. And I don't know what this wrong kind is all about, except he's kind of hiding.
All right.
That's what I see.
He is absolutely hiding. I think your pests need to get him out from underneath his desk and motivate him to pick up the telephone and call the Opie and Anthony show, and so that we can have a debate on air on the Opie and Anthony show.
All right.
Paul, any problem with somebody maybe collecting World War II memorabilia? Because I do that.
Oh, not a problem. I sold a house recently for a fella that had his whole house full of World War II memorabilia.
See, thank you.
Can we be specific here and say Nazi?
No, it's from all sides. I have a British Enfield rifle.
Time out.
That gun control, Paul.
Conservative Republican. I'm all for guns.
All right. I love this guy. See,
how about black men with guns?
Illegally.
All about guns.
If they're legally obtained.
How about nines, nigga?
Yeah, we gotta go. Paul, thank you so much for checking in with us, and good luck on the election. And pests, help out Paul R. Nelson.
Paul R.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you.
All right.
There he goes.
Peace out.
Paul R. Nelson, everybody.
This is Paul R. Nelson, and you're listening to the Opie and Anthony Show.
All right.
It's Paul R. Nelson. I can't believe we talked to him.
He's like a celebrity to us.
I love Paul R. Nelson.
He's just a dumb real estate guy from Wisconsin.
He's a real estate guy.
But he's a celebrity now.
He's a celebrity.
All right, we got a break because we got Borat coming.